Trump's re-election has everyone in the immigration world asking what happens next. And while his policies are intense and alarming, let's break down what we're really looking at and what people can do to prepare. First, Trump wants to institute a mass deportation program, and this is something he's announced that he's going to implement his very first day in office. He's indicated that he'd like to deport millions of undocumented immigrants, expand expedited removal, and use local police and the National Guard in order to help with immigration enforcement and deportations. But he has not provided any details as to how something like this would be done, and that's probably because it's an almost impossible task given the sheer lack of resources and the fact that it would be extremely costly. It cost more than $11,000 to deport one person who's undocumented. And if Trump were to meet his proposed goal of deporting 1 million undocumented immigrants a year, it would cost hundreds of billions of dollars. And that's because there would need to be more detention spaces, more immigration judges, and more immigration officers. Trump has also hinted at using a wartime law, a law called the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which he says he would use to target alleged gang members and help with expediting deportations. Now, this law was last used in World War II, and I imagine there'll be major legal implications, and many immigrant advocacy groups like the ACLU have been preparing to challenge such policies in court. Also, in his first term, Trump really eroded asylum protections, and it's expected that he's going to do the same thing around this time. Trump has also talked about attacking birthright citizenship, as well as taking away protections like DACA and parole. So what can you do right now to prepare? First things first, talk to an immigration lawyer and have your case reviewed. For example, if you've never applied for anything with immigration, but you're eligible for a particular program or form of relief, now might be a good time to file that. If you're actively in immigration court proceedings, it may be in your best interest to seek something called prosecutorial discretion, which is something that allows low priority cases to be dismissed or closed out. In Trump's last term, prosecutorial discretion was done away with. So filing now, if it makes sense for your case, might be a good option. If you have a pending asylum case in the immigration court or before the asylum office, it may be worth looking at speeding up your case while certain policies are still in place. If there are a lot of complexities in your case, it might be a good idea to pause and first see how things are going with the new administration before considering to file or not. There are so many different scenarios and every person's case is different. There are so many different scenarios and every single person's case is different. And none of this is intended to be legal advice, just general information. But it is really important to speak to a lawyer just to assess where your case stands and what you should do next. It's also really important to just stay informed and updated with what's going on. Just like his last term, there were many lawsuits filed against his policies. And the benefit of that was a slowdown in the implementation of such policies, which allowed people to explore other potential options for them. Also, it's really important to know what your rights are. There are many websites where you can get Know Your Rights cards and you can keep them on you or keep them in your car or your home. And they're a good resource to turn to if you're ever stopped by immigration officials or law enforcement. Now, these times that are coming up are going to be very uncertain and unpredictable. But as an immigration lawyer who practiced under Trump, we are a lot more prepared now in the sense that we know what to expect going forward. And many of us are going to use that experience to help navigate the system in a way that's most effective for our clients. For more immigration news and information, feel free to give us a follow.